Teysa Karlov versus Tasigur, the Golden Fang. Well, we've got lands in hand, so we'll keep that. And I think it is Enlightened Tutor into Sol Ring. And we can try and get into the Gilded Lotus as soon as we can. So let's yield till the end of the turn and allow our opponent to get on with their turn. And there we go, we get into our Sol Ring. Let's cast that and hope that our opponent doesn't have counter magic. They do not. We can just hold up Vampiric Tutor. Not sure what we want to get with a Vampiric Tutor. Teysa Karlov is a Necromonicon commander, 4 mana in Orzhov for a 2/4. Creatures that cause a dying trigger, 2 trigger, cause that trigger to trigger twice, say trigger more. And it also gives our tokens Vigilance and Lifelink. Abrupt Decay on the Sol Ring is not very nice. So let's, I think we just Vampiric Tutor into something else then. Let's get ourselves a Mana Crypt. Feels bad getting 2 tutors on our opponent, but we've had it done to us enough times, and I also know how good Tasigur the Golden Fang can be, so can't exactly go easy on our opponent. Mana Crypt, Westvale Abbey, and we'll get down the Gilded Lotus and hope that we actually start drawing into some stuff. We've got the mana, but we don't have the cards. Tasigur the Golden Fang has Delve. It's a 4/5 for 6 mana. It is a Sultai commander. For 2 Sultai, no, not Sultai, for 2 Simic, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, then return a non-land card an opponent tells you to return from your graveyard to your hand. So it's self-mill, and then we give them a card back of our choice, and they want to try and decide what we do with that. Can we do get down Teysa, and then we can kill that Crucible of Worlds. Yeah, we have to do that, don't we? So let's go kill the Crucible of Worlds, because we really don't want our opponent taking advantage of all the lands that they're going to put into their graveyard. I'm hoping that they're stuck at 3 mana now. The longer they can be stuck there, the better it is for us, because we can cast pretty much anything we draw into. Okay, Urborg actually might help us, especially if they get rid of our Gilded Lotus. I'm just hoping to draw into a Necropotence, although the chances of that are pretty slim. Alright, yeah, I'm not even going to pretend that we've got something in hand. I'll just go for the Plains and the Cartel Aristocrat. You never know, we might get into a Blood Artist or something like that. The aim of the game here over the next few turns might be to flip Westvale Abbey into Ormondal Profane Prince. Yeah, with Westvale Abbey, we can pay 5 tap and pay a life to get a black and white human cleric token. And then for 5 tap and sack 5 creatures, we can turn this into a 9/7 flyer with lifelink, indestructible, and haste. But I don't doubt our opponent's going to have at least a few bounce spells. That's the only problem with that plan. Yeah, there's Toxic Deluge. They knock down Tasigur to a 0/1. We can get Teysa out again straight away pretty much, and they're going to hit us for a massive 0 damage. Clearly our opponent has a sense of humour that is not too dissimilar to ours. And we lose the Mana Crypt flip again. Just drawing into lands, unfortunately. Let's see if our opponent has counter magic for us. They don't, surprisingly. So let's just go in with a Vigilance Lifelinker. Need all the life that we can get in this game. Oh, Mystical Tutor. Yeah, well, we're due. We got 2 tutors out on our opponent straight away. And it didn't pay off for us. And they go for Mana Drain. Yeah, that's... When we're in top deck mode, we really don't want to see our opponent holding a mana drain. Okay, we won the flip this time. Grave Pact would be really good to land. So we're not going to go for that. We'll just activate Westvale Abbey at the end of our opponent's turn. And they're going to activate Tasigur here. And you can have a Ponder. You're not having Mystical Tutor or Toxic Deluge. And they're not swinging in with Tasigur. I think they might be playing with their food a little bit. Or maybe they were just worried about us activating Westvale Abbey because we could... Actually, no, we couldn't gang up on them and kill Tasigur. So yeah, I don't know why they're not going for that. Alright, we've got a Toxic Deluge of our own. I'm just going to go for this Grave Pact because I'm assuming that our opponent is going to... They might just think that we... Well, let's tap the Swamp. They might just think that we are testing the waters and trying to get them to counter something and therefore won't counter it. They might call our bluff here when in actual fact it isn't a bluff. We actually want the Grave Pact more than the Toxic Deluge. No, looks like they are countering it. No, that's fair enough. We can still activate Westvale Abbey at least. They've got 3 cards in hand. And they will get 4 free mana next turn. I don't know how much use it will do them because they've got all the mana they could need. And there we go. We don't want them to have Cyclonic Rift because that can bounce this thing if we get to flip it round. We don't want them to have Future Sight either. So I'm glad that they are in the graveyard. They can't do shenanigans with Sensei's Divining Top in this format at least because the top is banned in 1 versus 1. But I'm sure there's other stuff they could do. Tezzeret the Seeker. Yeah, well, our opponent's got it. There's nothing we can do in these colours about Tezzeret the Seeker. Not sure what they're going to get here. They might get a Vidalcan Shackles. There we go. And then it's 2 and tap, and they can take our Teysa Karlov away from us if they want to. Nope, they just opt for Treachery. Well, we've got Toxic Deluge anyway. Treachery is one of those cards that... Yeah. Draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Our opponent's up to 4 cards and they can activate their Tasigur. Still not swinging in, so I think they're really playing with their food. We were too greedy with the tutors at the beginning of the game, so we deserve to lose this one, but I don't want my opponent just toying with me. Intangible Virtue. Well, we'll try and get it down. Yep, got themselves a Vidalcan Shackles. But we'll be able to block that token easily. And then we'll just activate Westvale Abbey now because I can't be bothered waiting until the end of my opponent's turn to do that. Blew up our Scrubland with the Wasteland there. Teysa Orzhov Scion actually deals with Tasigur. Now, are we going to be able to land this card or not is another question. 4 cards in our opponent's hand. Alright, going for Fact or Fiction, so looks like they are fishing for an answer. You can have Into the Royal and a Forest if you want one. They pick Into the Royal, so we know that they have a bounce effect now for the demon. Okay, they go for Into the Royal on a creature we can just make another creature. So they're showing me now that they're worried about losing their Tasigur, which makes me want to kill their Tasigur right now. These clerics will be replaced with spirits, thanks to Teysa Orzhov Scion's ability. I actually prefer this commander to Teysa Karlov. I mean, they're different decks really, but I really like the original Teysa Karlov. Or the original Teysa Orzhov Scion. She wasn't referred to as Teysa Karlov originally. Okay, they have untapped Vidalcan Shackles, so they're most likely trying to take Teysa away from us. But we've still got some 2/2 Flying Vigilant Spirits. We can kill Tezzeret, and we can also start dealing damage to our opponent as well. Still 4 cards in our opponent's hand. Okay, Yawgmoth's Will is... they can get Toxic Deluge out with that. Yep, there we go. I'm just going to call it a day there. I'm sure our opponent could have got a win off on us sooner than this, but they just seem to be playing with their food for some reason. So, do I want to just quit here? You know what? I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to kill Teysa Karlov. I'm going to sacrifice her to her own ability. Yeah, we get back our Teysa Karlov. I do just think that we are done for here. And I do think that our opponent has been toying with us a bit too much as well. Maybe they thought that they easily had it in the bag and just wanted to mess around with us a bit. Well, 3 more losses with the Mana Crypt flip, and we are definitely done with. We'll get down a Lingering Souls and throw it back to our opponent again. Sometimes I'll come across games like this and completely lose interest in them. It's my own fault because I got greedy with the tutors in the early game. And our opponent has played their Tasigur deck as it is supposed to be played here. I would have quit this a long time ago, but I am playing it still because I'm assuming that there's some of you that have come to the video in order to see Tasigur the Golden Fang played out. So here we are, and hopefully those of you that are interested in such things are enjoying it. Would really love some artifact removal for that Vidalcan Shackles. Out comes Tasigur again. And then Spellseeker, even more value. And Nature's Claim goes after Gilded Lotus, probably. Yep, certainly does. Let's try and get down a Toxic Deluge for 5. This looks like Cryptic Command. Nope, they're just activating Tasigur. You can have a 3 visits. The way Tasigur typically plays is you play with a lot of delve cards, so you can exile cards from your graveyard that you don't care about seeing again, and then you give your opponent a difficult decision of, you know, either Mana Drain or Cyclonic Rift or Negate. But either our opponent hasn't drawn very well, or they just don't run the deck that way. Go for the Lingering Souls. No doubt our opponent will go for the Vidalcan Shackles again next turn. They could take something for 1, 2, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4 power currently. Because Vidalcan Shackles takes something. It takes a target creature with power less than or equal to the number of islands you controlled, and for as long as the Vidalcan Shackles remains tapped. And you can choose not to untap it during your untap step. Out comes Tasigur yet again. And they've delved a load of cards out of their graveyard in order to get him down for cheap. So these are the cards that they don't mind seeing. And they play their 3 visits. And Coalition Relics, so they're not short on mana. They are down to 1 card in hand. See if we get bolted again. Yep, we do. We're down to 2 life. And I bet our opponent still won't swing in at us. Finally see Blood Artist. A little bit late to the party. Let's get down Angel of Invention. A life-linking creature that no doubt our opponent will take with the Vidalcan Shackles. It's a really good card, Vidalcan Shackles. 2+1/+1 counters would put it at 4 power. I think they could still take that with the Shackles, couldn't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they've got more than enough. So we'll just get down some tokens for the hell of it. You never know, we might not lose the Mana Crypt flip next turn. Let's go after Tezzeret. Most likely block with that Spirit. And then activating Tasigur again, and we'll just give them 3 visits again, I think. Yeah, it's the worst card in the graveyard. You can all let me know actually in the comments if you've made it this far, which, you know, I don't know how many of you have, obviously. Would you rather I carried on playing games like this that just seem to be very one-sided, and it seems as though our opponent is just toying with us here? Would you rather I just kept playing them to show you what the opposite deck plays like? Or do most of you come for this deck, my deck, and you just want to see my deck run properly? I don't know. I'm trying to cater for everyone, but you know, you can please some of the people some of the time, can't you? So I'd be intrigued to see what you all think of that. We activate Tasigur. You can have your Nature's Law again. I don't know how many more forests you have. And finally deciding to start swinging in with Tasigur. Protection from green and black. I think I'd rather keep the flyer actually. I imagine our opponent's just going to block it with the Angel of Invention. But if we survive the Mana Crypt flip next turn, then we can get down Teysa, get a couple of life back from the Spirit and from the Servo. A couple of life each. But no, we lose the flip. That's par for the course in this game, I think. Yeah, so let me know what you all think of that. If you'd rather I'd have just not bothered uploading this and had uploaded a good game of Teysa Karlov, you can let me know. I don't know how many of you show up for my opponent's deck as opposed to my deck, so let me know anyway. Hope you all enjoyed it, and if you didn't, like I say, leave a comment. My name's tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.